I really don't know where to start or where to finish because there's so much to talk about.
My parents came from Europe, from Russia, and at that time, the parents wanted their children to get the best education and that they should really make a success of themselves in America. Hebrew and Tanakh was very important in our home. And when I was 10 years old, I started to go to the Hebrew College in Boston. I graduated also from Brandeis University. My career continued and I became a teacher for the last 25 years, a first grade Hebrew teacher at Solomon Schechter School in White Plains. With the customs and the wonderful feeling that you get to being Jewish. Nobody can have that feeling like a person who wants to teach. So I retired after 25 years and I wanted to spend more time being in Israel because we have a home there and I loved being in Israel. So it was time for me to leave teaching. But this came up, and all the months that I'm here, that I was here in America, I had the privilege of going to WTA, and I loved the way Rami started the morning off and all the children sitting in the Mizaron, in the hallway, listening to what Rami had to say. And when we went to the music classes and Rami is teaching them, for me it was a machaye nefashot. It was, I'm getting back, I was like a child again. The values that are instilled in these children, it's just amazing.
I was born in Czechoslovakia. From the moment that the Hungarians occupied our town, the troubles began. The situation became worse every day until one day we were told that the next morning we are going to leave our homes and we will be taken to a ghetto. My entire family, whatever was left of after they were taken to the labor camps, were taken now to Auschwitz. A SS officer appeared, and that was Dr. Mengele. And when I stood in front of him, I was 14 years old, and he hesitated for a moment what to do with me. And then finally sent me to the right side, which meant slave labor. And my brother Yosef also, but my father he sent to the left. After I was liberated from the camps, I went to Israel on Aliyah Bet. I also volunteered to the Haganah after that because I felt I want to help to build the country and to defend it. And I fought in the Israeli Liberation War 5 years. They said, you know, you lost so many years in the Holocaust and in the army. You must learn. You have to go to college and get a good higher education. So I appealed to Yeshiva University and I was accepted. And I graduated from there. I got my BA and Master's in Education. And then I went for my doctorate in Hebrew literature, and I got my PhD. I made up my mind that it's very important that I should become a teacher or an educator because I felt that the new generations have to know about the beauty of Jewish history and of learning in general, and also that they have to learn about the Holocaust so they will not forget. And that's what I did for 50 years. When I was chosen to be the director of the Department of Education of the Jewish Agency in America and Canada, I felt that the Jewish community in the United States and Canada are not doing enough for Jewish education. And soon after that, Mr. Menachem Begin became the Prime Minister of Israel. And I wrote him a memorandum telling him that one of the reasons why so many Jewish parents don't send their children to day schools because they can't afford it. When I found out that there's a group is going to establish a day school, the WTA, that is going to allow Jewish children to go to the day school and that they will not have to worry about the money part. I saw that there are a number of students in the school that are from Young Israel, from New Rochelle, and I see them Shabbat, that they're full of life, and so I see that there is results, that these children are really becoming involved.
We have 3 amazing daughters. They are our miracle children, and we devoted our whole lives to them. I'm very lucky to have such 3 daughters. They are my best friends.
And we ended up having 11 grandchildren. And I call them Yaldei Hanisim, the miracle children. And now we have twins, great-grandchildren, boys. I said that one of the twins, is my nechama, my comfort, and the other one is my nekama, my revenge.
My father, as you heard, fought in the Independence War and always had a very strong feeling about the importance of the State of Israel. I don't know, I'm getting emotional.
Okay, this is exactly what...
So I actually have 2 children who live in Eretz Israel, one of which she studies at the university there, and she made Aliyah. And also my son, Yair, who's currently serving in Tzahal in San Chanim. So I feel that my parents and myself and my husband had a big influence. As he wrote, when he made this decision, he said he was on Har Herzl, and he saw a woman who had a tattoo on her arm visiting the grave of a soldier. And he said that put the whole history of the Jewish people together. Here's a woman who's a survivor, who's visiting a soldier in the state of Israel. And he said that just clinched it for him, that this is what he had to do.
I remember myself as a child, and until today, my parents have been role models as devoted, hard-working individuals.
Growing up, our parents really stressed the importance of a Jewish education, so much so that each of them worked 1 and 2 jobs to help send us to the best day schools and the best summer camps.
I'll add to that also about the importance of Hebrew music. They actually named me Shira in hopes that I would be able to sing well, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition too much. But as a family, it was always very important, music, chazanut, the emphasis on coordinating tefillah and the Jewish religion, everything. It was an important component of our lives.
Having been a first grade school teacher for over 30 years, I've always wondered what came first, that she was such a young woman for so many years that she could still be a first grade teacher, or that being involved in education and being a first grade teacher kept her as such a young and vibrant individual. What always impressed me was that in the Shoah, his faith, his determination, his resilience was because, as Hill stated, his faith in God. And many survivors lost their faith in God. My father-in-law did not.
I'm so happy to have my grandparents live in the same neighborhood as me, and my Saba for teaching me my bar mitzvah question.
My Saba comes to speak to hundreds of kids who really enjoy hearing about the Holocaust and the establishment of the State of Israel and how he really built up the country.
סבא וסבתא בשבילנו מחנכים בכל רמ"ח איבריהם, בליל הסדר במשותף, בסיפורים שהם מספרים לנו, בכל מה שאנחנו לומדים ורואים מהאופן שבו הם חיו את החיים שלהם.
כשאני חושב על הזווית של החינוך היהודי, אני חושב גם על חוויה אישית של ללמוד לבר מצווה עם סבא שלי.
As their grandchild, I've had the privilege of having a strong relationship with them, and I'm on the receiving end of the many invaluable lessons that they have taught me throughout my life.
Saba has continued his career in education even after retirement. He speaks to tens of thousands of students a year about his experiences in the Holocaust and has brought his story into the 21st century with his website, MosheAvital.com.
Not only have Saba and Savta been lifelong teachers, they're also lifelong learners. Savta has become an expert computer and Gmail user, which she uses to keep in very close contact with her family and manage Saba's speaking and writing career.
They inspire us with their constant pursuit of knowledge and the commitment to share that knowledge with others. We hope to continue those efforts through our own work.
Mazal Tov, Saba and Savta.
I felt that the love that I have for the Jewish people and for Chinuch and for Israel, he had it as well, and the two of us could really contribute a great deal to a community and to children. We can both add to the lives of all the children that we come in contact with. There were hundreds, thousands of children that we've influenced without realizing it.
We complemented each other when it came to these things very much.